Okay. So we're going to carry on with what we were doing last week with creating space. So I'm going to be sending you a document tonight that's going to break down kind of why we want to create these advantages. I talk a lot about creating an advantage, and then you want to stay in the advantage and then capitalize. So creating space and separation can be a big time advantage for not only yourself, but also for teammates. So when we're talking trying to create an advantage or get yourself open without the ball, we're talking about things like cutting. So there's L cut or V cut from the wing. We've got backdoor cuts, block to block. We've got all kinds of different cuts, rim line cuts, ball cuts, we call them. And then we've got something else that's called a flash, where you flash hard. Maybe your defender's out of position, or maybe they're a little bit slower than you, and you just quickly flash across their face to about mid-key, but you don't exit. You come back out the way you came. So that's a flash. Obviously, we can set screens and stuff like that, but we're not going to be talking about that tonight. So we're saying that you're going to obviously get yourself open by cutting and getting that defender on maybe your hip or your back, and then you can pop out, look for that ball, two eyes on with the passer and two hands catching. But as you move your defender, and in turn that could create a gap or a lane for a teammate. Okay, so twofold why we want to keep moving within the offense. And again, my allergies are absolutely insane. Sorry guys, every afternoon it seems to get that. So we're in that document. You'll be able to read about it. We can cover some of that right now with just me in the video. I'm not going to talk too much about the cutting, talk more about the actual ball stuff. So to get yourself open now with the ball in your hand, so you just caught, first thing is our pivots. We talked about that last week. Our rips, talked about that last week. And then some pivot breakdowns like jabs and stuff. So we're going to recap all of that. Maybe a little bit more in depth with some of the jab stuff. We'll probably look at it a bit more. And then we're going to look at 4 actual dribble moves that you can use to create quick separation when a defender is either in front of you, on a hip, behind you. I'll give you about 4 different options. So depending where that defender is, you can evade them and make space away from them. And now you're at the advantage again. That defender is out of position. They need to recover to you to get back in front of you. That's when you can really beat them. Okay? So first thing, if you guys have a ball, you can participate here, practice a little bit. So we always self-toss. So I said on the equator of the ball last video, I actually meant the poles, the north and south pole, right? If we're holding that, the equator would be kind of here, right? Here we'll say. So poles. We spin it backwards, and we always pop, land 2 feet at the same time. I'm a little bouncy. My feet are underneath me, and I'm square, okay? And that ball's in my pocket. From there, we're going to just review the pivot options. So the first one are front pivots 90 degrees. So we pop that ball, and I would say do this 3 times, and that would be a set. So we're going to go this way for 4 pivots, quarter pivots, or 90 degrees. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we would continue to do that. Like I said, you'd go about 3 times. And we want each pivot to look very, very similar, where our legs aren't going out and in. We're not going up and down with our head. We're athletic throughout the whole pivot. Other foot. Pop that ball. 4 pivots. This way. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you can't hear a squeak, but you can really hear me driving that foot down. I'm not stomping it down. So I'm really kind of just quick little stop. And now I'm athletic. I can be reactive. We can do those pivots in reverse or back pivot, 90 degrees. Okay, and we're going to sweep it backwards. So it's now 1, 2, 3, 4. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and again on your end, you'd actually be doing 3 full rotations. I'm too old for that. 1 is enough. So from there, we get into the half pivots. And again, it doesn't take you guys long here to get through it. So I'm going to do 2 half pivots. So 1, 2, and again, you continue to go for your workout. Do that with the opposite foot. 1. Oh, sorry. So restart that. So I messed a rep up. No big deal, but I'm going to leave that rep behind, and I always start from scratch with a new rep. Okay? We always want perfect reps. So 180 degree turn. 1, 2. All right? And again, you have a couple more reps on your end. You can now do that in reverse. 1, 2, or with the ball high even is a reversal option right at the top. We've seen that done. Oh, pivot and then fire, and we can go the other way. And I'm ready to react right from that pivot. And yeah, I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna go 360 on this lock stone. Let's see if I got this. Boom. Not bad. My right foot's even a little bit in the lead, a little bit of an attacking foot. And we briefly touched upon that last video. Adi, that was something that I said in your video. You did really well, but this last foot, so you went jab, awesome. Really good cross step you had. And then when we came back, we went even, and the dribble was there. Where we actually, when we come back here, we actually want to go past that foot, dribble, and that defender would be down in this area away from here. So instead of just even, we want to take that advantage and really step hard on them. Yeah. And then we would have, if you think you're up to it, full pivot going in reverse. I'm not going to try that right now. From there, we got into rips, and we're going to quickly cover that right now as well. 3 rips, knee, belly, and head. Depending where you're at with your size, where you are in the court, who your defender is, you might need all 3 of these. So I practice all 3. If I'm a smaller player and I'm playing against someone much larger, my advantage might be down here, right? So this is where I get into some knee rips, or maybe someone's really, really leaning on my hip. I want to get the ball over to here a little bit. So if I'm the bigger player, and I might be thinking head rip, my advantage might be up here. Okay, I can see over that guy, boom, and then I can still even shoot it if that's something you've worked on. So real quick, we do 10 of each. Each rep is about 1 second apart, so we're not just ripping the ball side to side aimlessly. We're purposely looking. Again, this is why I'm looking at myself on the big camera here, the big screen. You guys should be doing the same. See if it's effective. So I'm here. Pop that ball's in my pocket, and I'm going to go for the knee rip. It's right, and it's back up into that loaded position. I snap it up, right? And I'm not twisting. I'm just kind of in this position. Boom. All right, good hard rips. Once I get to 10, I just take a step, catch my breath. I'm going to go belly, pop it. 1, 2, 3, and I'm just leaning over just a bit, and then that ball's coming right into my pocket. Boom, snap it there. Snap it. Snap it. All right? Then we go for 10. Ball pop. This hip is up over my head into here. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down, right? And I'm strong with that ball. I'm really gripping it pretty firmly, especially when I'm bringing it up. I don't want anyone kind of stripping it at that point. So I'm strong with that ball. Okay? From there, we actually like to move into comboing that. I'm just gonna get my cone here. And if you guys don't have a cone, like I said, use anything. Use a hat, a rock, whatever. So the first combo that I like here is a high step over. So I'm like, maybe I just caught the ball from here and I'm looking for a reversal, but that defender jumps out on the wing. So I don't have that pass anymore. So I step over, boom. As I'm low, I got a little bit of balance in my knees and my hips here, and then I sweep back. So I pivot over, sweep back. But again, my chin is kind of on my shoulder. It's on the rim. I'm seeing what's happening. My peripheral vision, sides of my vision are up. So I step over, rip back is a really good combo, okay? From there, we can also step over. And again, we did this a little bit. where we, boom, and that again, look at this foot, how much in advance it is of my back foot, and I'm coming downhill. Okay, so sweep, jab, come back, right? And we're just kind of playing with that and putting this together. And as I move the ball from one side of my frame to the next, usually that defender is going to jump as well. And if they're really leaning on me and I get the ball to here and they're leaning on this hip, well, I'm just going to put it on the ground and I'm gone. All right, I beat that person. So great way to relieve the pressure, something we talked about, buying yourself some space. Space equals time. Time equals better decisions. Okay, if this all makes sense. So it puts you in the driver's seat where you are dictating what's happening and that defender's constantly reacting to you, recovering to you. So you create the advantage and then you stay on that advantage. Okay, so have fun with the pivots and the reps combo. Have fun, record yourself, get this angle, get this angle, see if it's believable. If it doesn't look believable to you on the camera, it's not going to look believable to a defender on the court. Okay, so from there I said we're going to talk a little bit about some of the dribble options. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of my defender for a second there. So far the live's been pretty good outside here. I was worried that I was going to get like pooped on by a bird or something like that. I shouldn't have spoke so soon. So the first one is the retreat dribble, and we actually broke this one down. I will get my cone back last time. So you guys see my cone? No, one sec. There you go. So that's my defender who's facing me. And again, you guys are the rim where the camera is. So I'm coming in, I see that this defender is ready for me, or they're actually maybe progressing and trying to charge at me, trying to make me rush or do something. I'm going to dribble it off my knee or panic. So I need to protect the ball, give the ball space. So I'm going to come in, the ball's right here in my right hand. My right foot becomes a pivot foot, and I go boom. As that foot lands, so should that dribble. And how does that happen? Just takes repetition, right, to get that rhythm. So I'm comfortable, I'm low, I'm not super extended, and my arm bar is up, all right? My chin is on the defender, on the rim, and I can see what's happening. From here, what we did last week is we just did a hip swivel. So right now I'd be touching that defender on my knee and my arm, and then as I swivel, I land back to here. So I've created about 3 to 4 feet of space just by me using my body, pivoting in and jamming and stopping that defender, and then I quickly pop back. And now I've got all this space to break down and attack with the dribble, okay? What we're gonna do now is we're not gonna hip swivel. I'm actually gonna drag outwards with the dribble, right? Helicopter. All right, so that's the defender. I'm just gonna switch angles here so you guys can see the drag a little bit better. So I'm gonna coming in, I plant. I see this defender's challenging. I jam, my chin is on them, and instead of just hip swiveling and having that space, I'm going to, right here, I rotate my shoulder and my wrist over the ball, and I go drag, or pull, whatever you want. But we're gonna retreat. We're actually gonna go with the basketball, and hopefully, well, I'll show you what's gonna happen with the defender. We got 3 really good options to score out of this. So we're gonna come down, I jam, lockstone, and then I go drag. Usually 1 to 2. If you're dragging more, you're probably dragging right out to the 3-point line or something. But 1 to 2 dribble drags, or dribble pulls rather, because we're gonna do a drag later. So we'll call this dribble pulls. So I get to here and it's pull, and I keep that ball right on my back foot as I pull. My chin stays on the defender. And then after the first or the second, that's when you do your hip swivel, okay? So instead of just doing it on the spot, we're gonna create space even more. We're gonna dribble and pull this out. If this defender stays there, Well, then I drag or dribble and boom. And this here is about, it's on camera, you can't tell. This here is about 6 feet. Well, I can shoot that. So if the defender stays after my retreat dribbles, 1 or 2 of them, I hip swivel, I'm low, my chin's already on the rim, I'm popping that ball, and I'm going right up into a jump shot. Okay, now switch angles. If I, let's say I pull, and instead of the defender staying there so I get my jump, they stay on my hip right here. So as I pull, as I retreat, they stay on the hip, stay on the hip. Well, when I get into the swivel, I'm gonna do a twist dribble, it's called. So now it's twist, and I come down this way. So it's twist. It's exactly what you just did, but I'm gonna do it square. So I'm gonna get into here, I rotate wrist and shoulder, I pull, I jump, and I pull it one more time. And then I go down to keep the ball in that hand. Here's the last or third option that defender can do. So if they stay there, we pull, we jump shoot. If they stay on this hip, stay on this hip, stay on this hip, I twist, and then I just get to go right down there. If they get a little bit ball hungry, or they're enticed and they think they want to steal this, that's fine. So we're gonna pull, and then as I square up, they go to shoot the ball. That's where I'm gonna go through my legs, and I cross step them. Or they come for the ball, and I go behind the back. All right, so couple options on the retreat dribble. Defender stays, pop your jump shot. They stay on your hip, inside out or twist, re-attack. If they come on the inside middle, you're gonna go through your legs or behind the back, you re-attack, okay? So the next one from there, that's the retreat. I'll talk about the drag now. The wrist and shoulders are the exact same for the drag. Okay, so that's why some of the terminology, I kind of interchange it. What's going to be different though is the feet. The feet are going to be working in a very peculiar way. Okay. Okay. So a drag dribble, and I'll kind of show you with this cone again. So right now you see with the camera, it's flipped backwards. So to you guys, it's going to look like it's my left foot, but really this is my right foot, okay? So we'll call this foot 1, just to keep it simple. So foot 1 is directly in front of this cone. I'm going to have a good dribble, pound dribble. It's right outside my baby toe, right? Pound dribble. And then when I'm set, I'm going to initiate that drag out, that pull dribble, where my shoulder and wrist comes in, and then they start literally pulling the ball away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go with it. I'm going to jump off of the cone foot. So I'm going with that ball. I'm going lateral. I'm going sideways. So it's boom, boom. And then I land with my trail foot. That's why this is going to feel weird. So again, we can make it feel a bit better by using something. So we put the ball foot right in front of that cone. I'm square. And then it's boom, 1, 2. And then as that second foot hits, so should that basketball, all right? So I'm into this, and I'm gonna go drag, 1, 2. And if you can see the feet, if I can land in that position, that punch dribble, that's amazing. Because I've got this big advantage with this foot. That defender now has to close out 2 steps instead of 1, okay? So with the first move, the retreat, that defender is directly in front of you. You get here, we drag them, pull them, square up, make our read. With this one, the defender's going to be on our hip. So I need to go this way, away from the defender who's right here. So I can kind of even bump them, and then it's 1, 1, 2. All right? And as long as that ball stays like this, you can take your steps and it's not a travel. What you can't do is cup that ball. So that last dribble, it needs to be hard, boom. So it's hard enough so that ball sticks in your hand as you're going over. Boom, let it float up and then get it back down, okay? It's called a drag dribble. Again, we come in, boom, 1, 2. okay? And we can do that both hands. We're gonna jump with the ball side foot, and we're gonna land with this trail foot. So it's boom, 1, 2. Try and get this in frame for you. 1, 2, and chin is up, I'm assessing. Same reads. If this defender stays back here, but I see someone in front of me at the rim, as I beat them, I'm gonna rise up into a jump shot. If I do that, and that defender stays over there, like really beat, okay? I just keep going. I go right downhill to the rim until I meet the next defender. If they cut me off, they're really quick. So I get into my drag, I go 1, 2, and they get to there. Well, this is where I'm gonna maybe come back through my legs this way, or I land and then I re-attack. So it's the same reads. That's the beauty of the way I teach all these setup moves and dribble moves. We're making the same reads anywhere on the court. Jump shot, right hand attack, change direction, left hand attack, right? And it really does work anywhere. Just, again, it takes the thinking out of the game for you. From there, we're gonna work on a skip step. Exact same wrist and shoulder action. What we're changing here now is the feet, all right? So what we just did is we jumped on the ball side foot and I landed with my trail foot. What we're gonna do now is I'm gonna jump or skip on my weak foot and I land on that weak side foot, okay? This is called a skip step. So same thing, I would use this when the defender is really, really leaning into you, or if they're kind of trailing you, or if you want to really be the aggressor. Maybe they're doing nothing and they're just standing waiting for you and you got to do something. This is a really good way to initiate the start. A skip step is also a really good way to get into screen action. It really gives you a lot of options right off the hop, okay? So skip step, so we're going to come down, boom. This time I'm planting the opposite foot of the ball, all right? So as I come, I'm going to just gently lift on it, maybe like an inch or 2 off the ground, but I stay coiled and condensed in the air. So I'm not jumping like this and then coming down. Again, I need to stay athletic. So I just kind of skip, 1, 2, all right? So very similar, but yet different. So I'm going to jump off this way, skip, 1, 2. And again, as that second foot lands, so does that basketball and have the same reads. All right, we go this way. So I'm gonna skip off this opposite foot of the ball. I land 1, 2, and I'm just gonna play with some tempo. I can change my speed, so I can come in very quickly. I almost essentially stop forward motion when I'm into my skip. I just kind of hover, and then I land in a controlled position, boom, where I can shoot or re-attack, okay? And the last one we're going to look at is the punch, and really, really versatile. This is when, again, someone's on your hip, they're chasing you downhill, and you're just going to put the brakes on suddenly, and you're going to let them go right by you. And this is actually a move you guys have been doing throughout all of these. So that punch is, I'll be right here, and I'm going to punch. So the ball and the foot come at you at the same time. They land at the same time. It's about knee height. My chin is up, and it looks like I'm going to come at you. From there, if defense jumps backwards, I'm going to lift into my shot. If I come at you and I go punch, and that defender jumps into this area to kind of jam me, I'm going to twist out, and I get to keep going. If I come into and I go punch, and that defender shifts to here, well, then I get to go through my legs. Same 3 reads, right? Super easy, all right? And it's going to look like you're most versatile on the player on the court. But really, it's the same reads. You've made it super easy. Shoot right or left, but we're doing these setup moves. And then you just read, right? And that's the way the basketball is going, is concept-based, matchup-based, advantage-based. It's an attacking game. You always want to be on the advantage, all right? So using these setup moves, these spacing moves, you can move your defender for your benefit and for your team, all right? So I'll give you a quick rundown on those 4 moves again. retreat dribble. So I'm going to come out right at that defender right in front of me. I pivot and I plant on them. I pull, and then I square up. Defender stays. Jump shot. Defender comes at my ball through the legs. Defender follows my inside hip. I twist and I attack. The next one was the drag dribble. I'm taking off with my ball foot. Okay, defender's maybe here. I'm going to take off, 1, 2, and I land with the opposite foot. That's very unique footwork for some people. It's hard to get, so practice that. The next one was the skip. Very similar, but instead of the ball foot, we actually take off from this foot. So I'm going to skip, 1, 2. And all of those I've actually landed in a punch already. So I'm coming out of defender and it's punch, jump shot, or it's punch through the legs, or it's punch twist. All right? So you can become a superstar just by breaking it down, making the game simple, and you're going to be a deadly scorer off 3 easy reads. It's pretty easy to do 3 things really well, but we're going to make them look different. So that's me. My sister just got a new truck. She just pulled in to show it. So this will be recorded. It might take a couple hours, but I'm going to be putting it up online. Again, creating advantage and space. I'll have